Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to see you all this morning. Thank you for being here. So, as I announced earlier, we're going to have our summer prosperity class. I missed that last year. I really did. I didn't know how much I'd missed it until I started thinking about doing it again and how all these ideas started popping up. And we're going to call the class Living a Prosperous Life, and I just was compelled to kind of get it started. And so what I want to do, the thing about class that's different from Sunday morning is that we do things in class. You know, we engage and we converse and we grapple with things. And we don't get to do that on Sunday morning normally, but we're going to do a little different here this time, at least in one sense. And that is that I'm going to offer you a challenge. I kind of expected that. And I'm sure there's some, what do you mean a challenge? I don't come here to be challenged. I come here to be inspired. Inspire me. Well, you know, if you do the challenge, what I'll promise you is that you'll get more inspiration from that than anything I can say to you. And for those of you who have been to class, this one won't be a new challenge, but, well, it will be because we're starting fresh here, but it won't be something you haven't experienced before. What I'm going to challenge you to do today is create money in your life in the next 7 days. Unexpected money from a source that you weren't expecting it. Now, you can expect it. I want you to expect it, but I don't want you to know or think you know where it's going to come from, because that'll mess it up. Feeling the tension? First time I played this game, my teacher was Barbara. She stood up there and threw out this thing. She said, between now, it was a Monday night class, and next Monday, create unexpected income in your life and come back and tell us about it. I was immediately in shock. You see, I had just moved within 2 months back from Australia. I barely had an address. Not many people knew that I was back. Who was going to give me money? Well, as it turned out during that week, I actually got a check from the IRS for $300 and something. It was the most bizarre thing. Nobody was more surprised than I was. But it worked, and I'm going, ho-ho, this is cool. Let's do some more of this. Now, let's talk about this idea of why money. Money, because money's really pretty easy. It's tangible. You know when it's there. It's not elusive. And frankly, if anything's easy to create, money's easy to create. Now, some of you are going, well, I don't need any money. This isn't about the money. This is about the process. It's about the exercise. It's about accepting the challenge and saying that money's going to show up in your life from somewhere you didn't expect. And that's what I want you to do this week. I'm inviting you to take my challenge and create money out of nothing from somewhere that you weren't expecting. I'll give you an example. While I'm preparing class, I checked the mail. I think it was probably Wednesday, maybe it was Thursday. And sure enough, you have received a rebate from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. I frankly don't remember having insurance with Blue Cross Blue Shield. But they're telling me that I do, and this check is for $19.31. Out of nowhere. If I can do this, so can you. So the only way to make this fair is to kind of set you up with the answers to the big questions that you would have to do this. So we're going to go through a series of thoughts to make this more relevant for you. First of all, I want to share this idea of shared values. Shared values are the values that we as a community agree are most important to us. And this is a really interesting story. This is them. They're on the back wall of our sanctuary. And you don't have to turn around and look at them because it's the same ones here. The first one, the highest priority was spiritual growth. Now, I believe that we're already fully grown as spiritual beings, but we don't know it. So what that means is that we're becoming more aware of our spiritual nature. That's what spiritual growth means. Then you got love, gratitude, inspiration, and joy, all very powerful notions that we embrace as highly valuable in our lives. And the last one on the list, again, these are in prioritized order, is conscious creation. I was once, when I was brand new in this teaching, I had reason to be in Washington, D.C., and I went looking for New Thought churches that I didn't know much about. And I found a Divine Science church in the District of Columbia. And I went over there and I met the minister. And he said, where do you go to church? I said, a church in Miami. It's a Science of Mind Center. He said, Science of Mind. All they're about is creating stuff. Well, he was wrong. And that limited idea that we're just here to create stuff is not the truth. Frankly, spiritual growth and conscious creation work together. They overlap, and included in them are love, gratitude, inspiration, and joy. So that is an elegant model of shared values, and it really works for us. So I wanted you to see that and understand that. And now I want to talk to you about these ideas of how to do this challenge successfully. 6 ideas. Here's the first one. Tell yourself unequivocally that you receive money from an unexpected source. That's your job. Tell yourself, I have money from an unexpected source. I don't know where it is, not mine to know. It's mine to know that it's so. That's it. That's number 1. That's all you have to do. But you have to mean it. That's why the word unequivocal is there. You have to believe it. If you believe it, it has to happen. Okay? That's 1. 2, have no concerns about where the money comes from. Seriously, don't worry about where the money's coming from. The money could come in the mail. It could be handed to you. You could find money in a pocket or a drawer or in your car, under the seat, in the couch. There's unlimited ways that you could come up with money, right? Unlimited ways. So don't limit the idea on how it's going to come. In fact, when you are, I'm going back to number 1, when you are having that unequivocal thought that money is coming to you, do not get caught up in where it's coming from even a little bit. That will not help you. And I want to point out about this one again too. This is not discounts. It is not free products or services. It is not promises. It is not new accounts that you would, if you're in sales, that you got new accounts. It's none of those things. It's money. Money is what we're talking about. All those other things are great, and I take none of them away, enjoy all of them, but this process is about money because you can count it and you can hold it. Okay, that was 1. That was 2. And number 3 is your job is to know it's so. That was number 1, and get out of the way. Or as Emerson said, get your bloated nothingness out of the way. Because you are actually the only one that can stop this from happening. The process, it works by itself. But if you get in the way, and here's how you get, normally people get in the way. At the end of the day, they go, well, didn't get it today. Didn't have any money show up today. The more you say that, the more you're blocking your good. And if you do it on this exercise, chances are you're doing it with other things in your life. They didn't call me. It didn't happen. The stuff that I really want, it's just not happening. We'll cut ourselves off at the knees when we do that. And it won't come because that's your prayer. It didn't, it won't, it can't. When you say that, that's the truth. And if you want to play the game, you have to learn not to say those things, not to feel those things, not to get caught up in those possibilities. Simply know it is so and let it go and let it be. Number 4, you're actually not doing the creating. Spiritual law is doing the creating, and why it's so important for you to know that. And as Holmes says, we are impressing our thought upon the law, and the law does the work. The reason to do that is so you'll get out of the way. You can't help. You cannot make this better. All you can do is know that it's so. But if you start trying to micromanage it, you will lose it all. Because the reason that is that we as spiritual beings have a limited sense of how things work. only based on our experience in life. We can claim all day long that there's unlimited possibilities, but we don't know what they are. So what we tend to do is when we try to micromanage an outcome is we'll say, well, it's got to come from this or this or this. No, that's all limiting thought. Don't do it. Don't play that game. Don't worry about it. Again, if you don't need money, that's not the important piece of this. This is to create something out of nothing and to show yourself that you can do it. Number 5, do not judge the amount of money that comes to you. It does not matter. The task has no number to it. And if you get caught in thinking that's important, that's your ego. And your egos can't help with this. Your ego's only going to get in the way. So if you find a coin on the ground, let that be okay. If somebody buys you or gives you money to buy something, that just let it be the little thing that it is. Don't make it a problem. Don't make it wrong. Make it that you've achieved the outcome you intended to. And once you recognize that you can do that, maybe you want to think bigger, but that's fine. Don't do that now. Just simply let something come to you. I'm quite happy with a $19.31 check. Okay? And it can come any way it wants. Don't get in its way. Let it be a surprise, however it turns up. And do your happy dance. Absolutely do your happy dance whenever it does show up. It happens just like this. Here, that's for you. Now, somebody's going, oh, that's not fair. It's his wife. Trust me, this woman doesn't need to prove anything. And that was kind of fun. Okay. All right, and the final thought, and this is really important as well. What if nothing shows up? Well, first of all, don't entertain that thought. Let it show up. Know it's going to show up. But if comes next weekend, you can say, well, okay, 7 days, we've completed it, and I don't have anything. What's the value here? What's the thing that you can get from that? There's some really good things to get from that. Check into how you do with doubt. How much do you use doubt in your life? There have been times in my life where something incredible happened and then it went away. And my thought was, I knew that wasn't going to last. So who sent it away? I did. And you did when you've done something like that. So the value of this is good for anybody. Nobody gets to lose in this challenge. Everybody wins. So if you find something, if you're given something, if something shows up, celebrate it. If nothing shows up, what an awesome opportunity to look at what you're blocking with. And we all do it, so don't think you're special if you happen to have some blocks in your life. It's the things that you're thinking kind of behind your conscious awareness. And when you reveal those things, now you control them. They're not the problem anymore. You can get rid of them by simply knowing better. So that's what I've got to share with you about doing this thing, this little exercise of creating money from an unexpected source. Although I'll tell you, the source is God. However it comes out, whatever shows up, it's God. So my question to you, who among you is willing to take the challenge? If you're willing to take the challenge, I want you to stand up. And if you're watching this online, I want you to say out loud to yourself, I take John's challenge. I'm going to do John's challenge, however you want to say it. Claim it for yourself. And those of you that are standing in the room, take that challenge and make it work for you. And what I want to offer you right now is a blessing. So I want you to close your eyes and receive this blessing. I know that God is the source of all supply. And that money is God in action. I know that the good of all those who accept this challenge is here right now. We are so rich and so full that we have an abundance of money to spare and to share today and always. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. This word, which I speak in faith knowing, now activates universal law, and we accept the results. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I know that we now prosper together in every way, and I give thanks for this good. And so it is. In the book of Malachi, it is written, "Prove me now, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough for you to receive it." Let this happen in your life. Just a little game, but it will reveal something powerful about who you are and what you can do. You are duly blessed. Thank you for your attention, and you can sit down. And so it is.